Yeah, Jude, you come in, yeah, you guys come into the studio and you're like, man, this first day I look at you guys and you guys are like, whoa, that's a lot. I know I got a lot going on here.
It's great. Yeah.
You know, and I like to tell people a lot of the stuff pertains to me growing up and everything that it's something about me, something about us, something about the family. You know, like I'm all about Halloween, so you see all those that get up Cheech and Chong up there.
Yeah.
And then over to the left, toys that, you know, growing up and just all kinds of shit going on here.
What does wifey down have? What does wifey have down here?
Me. Me, the kids. You know, and then, you know, when you joined us a while back, you know, 2 years ago, it's like, you know, in that, you know, it was, I was with, go ahead.
I'll claim the artwork from Little Mario.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, our oldest, he's a painter, he does that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was with my nephew, my son, and my niece, and they had their own production studio. And then, you know, like I was telling you earlier, that's what we did. And then I went down to the nest, and then, boom. Queen Concrete Construction helped me out with some equipment and said, well, you know, let's do you up good. Let's put it in your home. And
that's cool.
You know. More relaxing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, don't have to worry about too many people walking around and, you know.
Yep.
But it keeps him, he's here at home now more often than having to travel, take everything, you know, set up, break down. So this allows us to at least be home more than.
It's very time consuming, isn't it?
Yes,
You
very.
pack up and load up and.
If you guys get a little warm, you know, I got these little towels you can wipe down, you know. If
you got it.
If, you know, you guys' forehead starts to shine up a little bit. We've had a few people, you know, get some.
I bet you Herbie LaFuente was sweating down here.
Oh, yeah. Herbie can sweat during the winter storm.
Absolutely.
You know?
Nobody can sweat in a Mexican dance like Herbie. All through his suit.
Through the suit and
Through
all.
the suit and all, man.
That's man. He's partying.
The right way.
But yeah, you know, Jude, you come in and I appreciate you talking about, you know, giving us our flowers for what we did, you know, in NAFA.
Absolutely.
So that's what we just did over this past weekend. Unfortunately, it rained Sunday, so wherever you were on Saturday, from Wednesday to Saturday, that's where you were. So, you know, they ended up giving us second place because we lost to Mexico.
Okay.
You know, and I believe Mexico had beat the Bravos too.
Yeah,
that team was solid, and they looked like they were little guys. They were hitting the hell out of the ball, and they had this pitcher that looked like he didn't get tired. And to me, watching them against the Indios, I think he turned it on an extra notch. Cause I mean, he was throwing hard, just boom, boom. Then all of a sudden, he started throwing hard and falling off the mound like he was trying to throw a little bit of extra. Yeah. You know, you could just see it.
Sure.
You know. And yeah, they ended up beating the Indios.
So Mexico beat Bravos and beat the Indios too?
Yeah, and like I said, they're a good solid team. Supposedly they're from Baja California, you know, down there, and I mean, but it was cool for them to come all the way, you know, to Illinois.
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
that's real cool.
Play ball, and it was a good tournament. And then we were inducted into the NAFA Hall of Fame.
Beautiful,
as
man.
a family, as a family team. We've been around for 50 years now.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know, you don't see too many teams do that, especially family. You know, our blood since '75 has been on the softball field all the way through.
It's beautiful, bro.
You know, so I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man.
You know, and I thought I'd share this with you guys because I took this down to the parks. So this here is the original Kansas City Indios jersey.
Oh, that's awesome.
So my dad and his brothers, you know, they didn't know who to print. They didn't have sponsors.
Right.
They just say, you know what, let's just go to Ventures, Kmart, wherever. Let's all buy the same shirt, no matter what we can find. You know, they probably were $2-3 a piece.
Yeah, right.
And then they sat down, and I remember my dad put a bunch of shirts down on the kitchen table. You know, I was 5, 6, 7 years old, drawing numbers on the back of shirts.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
What number should we give Uncle Tootie? What number should we give Uncle Victor? You know, and
Uncle Victor, boy, that was a hit machine right there.
Oh yeah, you did that.
Ooh, yes, sir.
He kept you busy all the time.
Left field, man.
Yep.
I said Uncle Victor, come on, you knew he was dead. I didn't care who was throwing. Uncle Victor's
he was
pulling that ball
roping.
down the left field. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All the time, bro. All the time.
Again, yeah, I appreciate you. Of
course,
man.
man.
You guys.
Lot of respect to Kansas City Indios, man, for what you guys have done. 50 years is impressive, bro. I spent a lot of time on the years playing. I played many games across that on the other side.
Yeah.
But I think the best part about it was, no matter what it was between the lines and as hard as fought as it was, I mean, I could go slide in the second and I want to take this guy out and knock him down, but then I want to have a beer with him afterwards.
Right.
I think that's the beautiful thing I think about our heritage.
Yes.
That's special. And I wish there was more kids growing up now that knew that, because it's a special time when we played.
Yeah.
A lot of teams. You go to Newton, there'd be 24 teams in the tournaments down there, and it was special.
Yeah.
Those good, and then those were the times that we met new people.
Right.
And then the teams like from Mexico or Colorado, you get to see them again a year later. And, hey, what's up? How you doing? And all right, it's time to get on the ball field, and all right, we're not talking now.
That's how I
But even though we did talk.
Of course.
If you're on the bag, I'm going to talk to you.
I'm
going to pull your jersey. I'm going to untuck your jersey.
Hey, this guy's infamous, man. Put that fake mitt down for you when you were coming in. All kind of games over there at second base, man. But we had a lot of fun, and I'm saying that though, Mario. For me, it was nice too. Like as you said, we started meeting new people.
Yeah.
Because I got an opportunity to go down to start spending some time in Houston and playing the Latin with Baytown. I met when I was with Newton. I met Tito Florencia from Baytown. He's originally from Monterey, but he was throwing down there in Houston and throwing for Baytown. And so I had met him in some other teams, and he said, "Hey, I'd love for you to come down and play left field for us." So I went down and played for the Baytown A's a couple years in a row.
That's cool.
I got down there. Coach picks me up, and I go to the place where the team is and everything. And he asked me if I speak Spanish. I said no. I said I don't. He says, "Well, nobody speaks English on our team." So that was interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man. But again, thank you guys.
Great memories.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna go ahead and start the show. I mean, we've already started. We're recording, but hello everyone, and welcome back to the Big Modcast. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Big Modcast. I'm your host, Big Mod. I got Sandy sitting in the chair with us. Chris running the board as always. And before I go ahead and introduce our guests for the evening, Chris, can you go ahead and play our sponsor reads? Mm-hmm. This podcast is sponsored by Quinn Concrete Construction. The company motto, no job too big or too small. Whatever your concrete need is, they have the experience and the professionalism to ensure a quality job every time. For a free estimate, call 913-279-1448. That's 913-279-1448 and ask for Joe Quinn.
This episode is sponsored by Goal Fire Protection. With over 26 years of fire sprinkler experience, Goal Fire Protection has built our livelihoods on established relationships and providing quality fire sprinkler systems. From retrofits, remodels, service, repairs, new installation, and inspections, simple to the extreme, we can help you every step of the way. No job is too small or too big for our knowledgeable crews. For your free estimate, call 913-441-3390 or email us at gochoa@goalfireprotection.com.
We on, fellas. Yeah. Again, thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys taking the time. Yeah, I'm glad we were able to figure out a schedule. And usually we shoot on Wednesdays, but I'm like, I want you guys here.
Yeah,
I need you guys here.
They wanted you on the show. Because he was like, I said, hey, Mario specifically asked to change the day to shoot because he wanted both of us on here. So.
I do. I was about to say, you know what? Let's go to your guys' studio and let me have it for a couple hours, and I'll interview you guys. It almost got there, but Jude's like, no, we go ahead. We're going to work it out.
Thank you guys for the invite to be on.
Yeah, I appreciate you. How we doing today?
Good, man. Good.
Yeah. Now, anything? So, what the 9 to 5s? What, we busy? I know, Jude, you come in look a little frustrated.
Busy, man.
Just busy. I know.
A lot going on with training camp. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of new kids this year, and you just get these young guys, and it's a part of helping them kind of grow up a little bit. That's kind of my job.
Yeah, let's go through the business. Well,
it's so primetime assistants I've had since 2003.
Yeah.
The first 5-6 years, my brother Jamie worked with me. We'd go to training camp in River Falls. So it's basically athlete logistics. We handle athlete logistics. The guys have their agents, their financial advisors, and then primetime assistants to handle athlete logistics off the field.
Yeah.
All the stuff when mom and dad comes in town, we set the hotels up. Rental cars, black car service. My wife Jessica in the last couple of years has started helping, so she kind of adds that mom touch to it. Mm-hmm. She puts the flowers in the place and makes sure the people are cleaned up. She'll go and double check, make sure everything's clean, ready to go, laundry's done. So we have that for a lot of the guys.
That's
so
cool.
Right now, just starting off a training camp, it's busy getting kids into new places. and having them kind of get situated for the season, because I want them to be all set and ready by the time that first game rolls around. So
okay,
lot of work. It's been a busy time right now.
Have them nice and comfortable, and that's good. That's good.
So how do you find your clients? Then they come to you, or you go seek them out?
I've been doing this for 23 years now. So it's all word of mouth. But we work with the organization.
Oh, okay.
Organization from Clark Hunt to Brett Beach on down knows who I am and what we've done and what we do, and I think they look at it as just an extension of what they do with their player engagement department.
Okay.
So you have somebody outside the building on the other side that you trust.
Yeah. And no other teams do this, or is it?
I have no idea. It's funny because when guys have gone other places, I've asked them if they have anybody, and they're like, no, not specifically. I'm taking care right now some stuff for one of the players that left here, went to Carolina. He's got a home here, and the player development guy from Carolina called and said, we got someone back here or back home that takes care of all the DMV. He called me in Kansas City. Can you please get this DMV stuff set? So I got all taken care of. I talked to him on Friday, say, hey, whenever you want to come down to Carolina, I got tickets, sideline passes, whatever you want to do. I thought that's cool. That's how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you kind of get
sound your name. Sound like he wants you to bring the business.
Hey, listen, I'd love to.
And stay there.
I'd love to, man.
Help Carolina out a little bit.
Yeah,
but how'd you get started in such a business then, if it really isn't?
I was working in a UPS
demand
store back in 2003. And I had guys in the plaza coming through the store. All the time. And I remember the very first guy, Chris Wilson, University of Pittsburgh, tight end. Third round draft pick. And he was coming in one day. He was all frazzled. And I said, what's going on? He says, man, I got all the stuff to get done. Opening weekend this weekend. My mom and dad are coming in. I said, listen, you write down 10 things that you need to get done this week that you need help with. Wrote them down. I said, just go to practice, do your thing. It was, getting his car washed, having dinner reservations for Saturday night, car service, making sure his parents got to and from the game. Set everything up, got it done. He came in on Monday and gave me some money. When he stuck that money in my hand, I thought, hold on a second here, man.
Hold on, I got another hand that can carry some cash.
There might be a business. And so by about the 6th game of the year, I had 7, 8, 9 guys walk through.
That's
Remember
cool.
That?
Okay.
Dante Hall, Greg Wesley, Pat Surtain. Who else during that season was on that squad?
That you were doing stuff for?
Yeah.
I mean, you did stuff for quite a few guys, even if it was, like one-time shots that were like, hey. And what's crazy is when you look at this, and what he was doing is like, you have these young kids, and I know I was a dipshit at 23, 20. I probably still am a dipshit. But at 23 or 24, these kids, and you're asking them, hey, and this is a true story. There was a left tackle we drafted, and he had to write Jude a check. And this is straight up true.
I believe it. I know where you're going.
Did not know how to write a check. And it was like, whoa, man. And he went to the University of Virginia. And it's like, so you got your degree, but you can't write a check. I mean, it's just crazy, but it's just stuff they didn't know. So you could imagine, because, when I did some stuff with Jude early on and would go to these guys' houses, I'm like, but then I know how my dorm room looked. And I'm lucky to find the matching shoes and shit. And and so these guys have all of this money and just like, but no, Jude would talk to him and say, hey, who's coming to town? You can try to check in on Tuesday, get all the shit straightened up. They're like, no, we're good. And he's like, okay, you sure you're good? And then on Thursday, be like, man, I forgot. I've got auntie coming in. I got aunt coming in. He's like, man, now I got to scramble and do all this shit. And it's like, and you get it. They're young kids, but there's a need for it. And I've said this to Jude, for years now. I can't believe with how advanced all these organizations are that these teams don't offer this more. And it's, because it's kind of one of those things when you go to like college now, and the relationships that coaches and stuff built with players before the NIL got crazy. Somebody you can trust. You can sit down with mom and dad, and what a better guy than Jude to sit there and trust. It's like, hey, I'm not trying to get in your pockets. I'm not trying to get in your pockets. I'm trying to make your life easier and simplify it, an extension of mom and dad. Right. And there are so many parents that, loved Jude and loved Jude because what he was doing. And it's, once again, it's like there's a need for it. Sometimes you get caught up and people are like, I don't know if I need this. It's like, I know you don't want to be doing this. Simple shit. Like, who wants to sit in the DMV line? I know I don't.
Right,
it's like that someone that's going to go do and take that time, I'm I got 2 little ones at home. I work a ton. If I didn't have to do it, I'd be like, shit, I want someone away in the DMV. I want someone to grocery shop. I want, so it's amazing that it's not enough or not more people do it, but the people who really do. And, you're asking like, how do you get these new clients? The people that love it and utilize it and they turn on to the next rookie crop. Like, hey man, Jew got my shit handled. He got my stuff handled. So it's just kind of a repeat, but it's cool to see guys, that have been in the league, that have come on, our podcast that he's done stuff for, and they would have been like, we would have been lost, to be honest, or up guys that have gotten traded and they don't know shit. They don't know the city. They don't know how to get around. Yeah. And when you get into this, when you get into a new city, you're just trying to acclimate, get in the playbook, and you got a million things to do. You don't know, where's my furniture going to go? And Jude will have this all, put a little bow on it and like, here you go. And here's the keys. And you're like, geez, this is really cool.
When it's all said and done, guys, seriously, when it's all said and done, I'm going to write a book. If I could write a book, you guys, we could sit there for the next 10 hours and I could tell you guys stories.
Oh yeah.
I've worked with over 250 NFL and NBA players. Yeah. And I'm talking about some of the greats. I'm talking about some of the greatest people that have ever, there'll be probably, I can think of right now, 7 to 10 guys that'll wear Hall of Fame jackets that I've worked for. And cool. I can tell you what it was like when they first got to the league.
Yeah.
One of my guys I'm working with right now, he first started talking, we started working, and I said, I know we met, but I said, what was talked about in the locker room? Yeah. He's like, man, he goes, I just mentioned your name. He said, and Trav came over and said, there's nobody else you want to be with. That's cool. That's the only guy you want to be with right there. Yeah. You're in good hands. You won't have to think about anything else. Just right there. Just stay where you're at. You're good. And he says, man, Trav, every day. You checking in with Jude every day? You checking in with Jude every day? He said, yep. Mm-hmm. So it just makes you feel good when you know someone like
that's cool.
Of that magnitude,
That's cool. So but before we go on, I apologize. I got to introduce you guys. Everybody's listening to you guys. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Jamie and Jude Davila is in the house.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was going to interrupt you because you guys are on a roll. And, but no, that's cool stuff. So, Jamie, what are you doing? You got anything going on now?
So, I've been in the hospitality and restaurant business for a long time.
Okay.
So that's kind of been my jam since, I was young, and I just always stayed with it, And I owned and operated my own place, and then I started a family, and I had 2 little ones. And so my, place is one of the hottest in the city, and we were, national publications from GQ, Esquire, New York Times, Vogue magazine. So I did that, and then I met my wife, mother of my babies, and so I lived above it. And so so I'm like, okay, this is cool. So we get engaged, and so we were still going to get married in like a year. So she was like, I think you need to move in. And I was like, well, hold up. I said,
pump the brakes a little bit.
I'm Catholic. We don't do this shit. We don't move in. I'm trying to extend my shit, my bachelor life for another year. And she's like, oh, hell no. Like, you're not this. I know what's going on. That's how I met you. So no, I'm not good with that. So, so then, I ended up moving in and then started a family. So then I got out of the restaurant business at that point in time because the hours weren't, conducive to little ones. And so even, when I did move in, there'd be a couple times I'd go to my restaurant and, go down there. And at that point we were established. I'd just come down on Friday and Saturday nights and say what's up to everyone. And, my business partner like, man, you've got to come down. It's Friday night. It's turned up. Everyone, the place is better when you're in it. So that worked for maybe 2 weeks on the Friday and Saturday night. And then once again, the wife, he was like, nope, you're not coming home 11:30 smelling like margaritas and I'm here with the baby. And, so it just didn't work out. So I've been in the restaurant business. So, right now I'm currently, the general manager at, Brookside Barrio.
Okay.
So just doing that and then being a dad to a 6 and 5-year-old.
Oh yeah. You're busy.
Oh my goodness.
Trust me, guys, their hands full.
It is.
Yeah.
Beautiful girls, but their hands full.
Yeah, they. It's funny because some of my friends are like, first of all, 2 girls, you got what you got because that was on you. But it's great. Once again, when I was starting my family, a lot of my friends already had kids that were either in junior high. And they're like, what the fuck you doing at this point in time? I was like, man, shut up. When I was doing, because it was just the opposite. When I was going and doing things when I was a young man, we'd like, hey, let's go see the Chiefs in, Seattle. Oh, I can't, my little ones. Now it's like, hey, and I'm like, man, shut up. I was doing the same thing. It's just role reverse. But it's great. I have 2 little girls, so busy with that. And then, just I'm a sports junkie. I really am. Yeah. And I'm not just, Chiefs, Royals. I mean, I love NHL. I love the NBA. I love obviously basketball, football, baseball. So it's funny because the girl's like, Dad, it's all you do is watch sports. And I'm like, I really do. I mean, that's my off time. I'm not, at my age, I'm not a big go out guy anymore. Yeah. It's just so if it's not with the girls or working, I like to kick back and, I'm super excited for college football, huge college football guy. So yeah, that's it. So it's pretty simple, and yeah, man, that's it. Cool.
Yeah. As far as I was big NFL guy from, 70s all the way to now. I could not get into the college game. I couldn't sit there and watch. I don't know why, but I think I started as soon as our oldest, he attended K-State. Then he's like, I'm going to be going to the football games. You guys want to go? And so we started going. And then I'm in Manhattan. I'm like, oh, shit. He went here and he went here. And, I'm like, what? I didn't know much about it. So now I keep up with K-State, with, the local teams, KU, and then, their little rivalry that they have going on and whatnot in football. And, that's how we got into the college game. But, of course, we became K-Staters. Yeah. Because my son goes to K-State,
Of course.
And our last guest, we were trying to get him, his daughter goes to K-State, but he's like, no, I'm all KU. I'm not going to switch. I'm like, you're paying for your school. He goes, yeah, that's my money, and I'm going to stick with KU. I was like, all right, well, that's your choice.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, did you guys grow up? What's the age difference between you guys?
5 years. Yeah. 5 years. I'm 5 years older.
5 years older. Yeah. Man, whoa. Let's go back, man.
Okay, so let me ask.
Go ahead.
You're talking about your big sports fanatic. Mm-hmm. I know you played sports. Did you also play sports?
I did. I played, but I played. I was a pretty good athlete. I was, in high school, and I had some small offers from junior colleges.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But dipshit in me again was like, I want to party and hang out with the girls, and I want to do this. And my oldest brother, Bob, I remember calling me because I had Skip Foster at the time was the coach at Coffeyville. And Coffeyville was winning championships. They were good. And so they got me out of class. He did. And it was like, hey, we want to beef up. I was 165 pounds in high school. He goes, we want to, we've seen enough film on you. Want to beef you up and come here. By your second year, you could be playing on a serious weight program. And I was like, nah, I'm straight. I'm good. Dummy, I should have went up there. And
I know, you think about that now.
Yes, exactly. And then, I just, so yeah, I was a good athlete. I didn't take it serious, but I was just like, I had more fun doing other stuff, and this guy would
chasing girls.
Yeah, that, and then this guy would, get at me and be like, hey, so yeah, I played. I wasn't as passionate as I should have been, but yeah, so I didn't pursue any college. Played some intramural hoops in college, but that was about it for me, sports wise.
Okay.
Yeah, how many times do you think you said this? Went pro. I think I could have went pro.
Yeah.
I would say that after playing just school. I mean, not school, but freaking out the playground basketball. Playing with some 6'9" guys out there just dishing and doing this. I'm like, man, I think I could have went pro. I'm playing with these big, and these guys, they weren't professional, but but it's kind of the back of your mind. I'll be like, man, if John Stockton can be big play, I can do that.
Dropping dimes.
How tall was John Stockton?
Probably 6'1".
Yeah. I'm 5'7". I'm thinking that, but yeah, no, that's crazy. What was it like growing up? What was the childhood like for you guys?
Shoot, a lot of sports in the neighborhood. We had a lot of kids in the neighborhood, a lot of sports.
Yeah.
Older kids, younger kids, and it just seemed like, back then, this we're about the same. We're the same age.
Yeah. Same age.
I mean, there wasn't no, TV and all the games and all the
Right.
stuff.
Right.
I mean, I don't remember turning the TV on a whole lot. I mean,
just Saturday mornings for Saturday morning cartoons.
Cartoons.
Hell yeah.
Cereal and cartoons on Saturday.
There you go.
But I mean, other than that, it was like you got home from school. We were outside all the time.
Yeah.
We grew up right on 63rd and Row, so right behind Highlands Elementary.
Yeah.
So we had that whole playground back there. We had basketball court back there, baseball field, which we turned into a baseball, to a football field, and all the kids. Mm-hmm. So we had all that right there.
Yeah.
And as our mom would say, what'd she say? You have all that school ground back there, and we would try to make a baseball field in our backyard, knock out windows.
Yes, knock out windows on the rag, and moms would be pissed.
She's like, you have all that room down there, and you want to play in the backyard.
Right. Yeah. And what was it? Was it wiffle ball, baseball, tennis, baseball?
Baseball, but then we had, and this is funny. So baseball, but then we got over that stupid shit because it was like knocking windows out and stuff. So then we played. You remember when you go to the Kansas City Kings games and they give out these little balls, Kings balls? They were almost baseball side. Yeah. So we call it Kings ball because we play with that. Okay. We play with that, but you'd have a wooden bat, like a skinny wooden bat, and play with that. Play with that, and we'd get neighborhood kids, and
there'd be 20 kids in our backyard.
We'd even do, but we'd even do it outfield. You'd play in the neighbor's yard because we had fences and stuff, so it wasn't like so. You had outfield, and it would we'd turn it corner, and it was even fun because we back in the day a bunch of these helmets. You get them Pirates, all the teams that were back, and then be always someone slick ass will hit you on the head because it hurt. It hurt those brown things. Yeah, man, but come on, man, with that shit, But so we did. We played a lot of that and football, and we were lucky enough because my dad. This was be his 65th year.
No, this will be year 60. So I looked the other day when I was talking to some guys at Arrowhead. Our dad started season tickets January 3rd, 1966.
Oh, wow.
So this January,
he's a one percenter.
This January will be 60 years he's had season tickets.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we were this is so my family's tickets are still our third row behind the Chiefs bench, the first 6 seats in.
Okay.
So, we were going to the games, and so at the time we'd stop by QT and get Huddle Club tickets.
Huddle Club tickets, $10.
I used to have Huddle Club tickets at QT, yeah. So you get them. So my mom, she'd always say, Daddy was carrying your ass into your 11. Your feet were dragging on the ground because he could get in free. Yeah. And Dad was like, come on, get up here. And shit, I was already like 7th grade. Dad was still carrying me in. But so we would go, so after the game, there was these ladies who were sat in the front row and their seats kind of went down to the tunnel. So, as little kids, we'd go in that front row. So we would get chin straps, elbow pads, gloves.
Wristbands.
And wristbands. And this was, once again, back then, there was probably 12 to 15,000 people in the stadium. You could hear conversations going on 2 rows over. I mean, because we were horrible.
Right.
I mean, we were horrible. But it was always, and because we're talking about, how our childhood was. I always was so excited starting Monday for a home game because my dad and brother Bob were some of the original tailgaters at Arrowhead Stadium. Now, people will say this is bullshit, this is crazy, but it's real, it's factual. My brother
That's because you're behind a mic right now.
No.
Yeah. Everything we say is factual.
It's true.
Hey, I'm telling. I know where he's going to go with this, but I'm going to let you finish it. But our brother Bob, my sister-in-law Patsy worked for TWA, so they would always fly different trips. He became friends with Tim Collier, and he went out to a game with the 49ers in San Francisco. Okay. And when he came back, he says, Dad, he said, you wouldn't believe it. They got tablecloths, they got lobster, they got steak, they got champagne, he said, and everybody's tailgating. And my dad said, well, let's start cooking out there.
So that was, he stole my shit like that. Can you believe that, man? That's messed up, dog.
He said, I'm going to let you talk, but I'm going
to jump in here. I'm going to tell him, damn, man. See how that shit is there?
So what you're saying is your dad was there as one of the first ones.
So it was
pioneer.
So if you, and once again, Arrowhead sign in front of the stadium, the D, that was where our meeting point, D for develop. So then the little if you go by those trees now, those things were as small as those little cameras. They were tiny.
Right.
And so there was probably maybe 10 to 20 people on that side of Arrowhead Stadium who were tailgating. So my family would do it up with, chorizo and do the whole Mexican. And my dad, he was so generous. He would get kegs, and the more the merrier for my dad.
Right.
The more the merrier for my dad. So people who didn't really know anything about it, you'd have a lot of these weirdos come by like, what are these weirdos doing, man? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like Jesus. And you would hear that, but they were just my family would be out there doing it. And then, after the game, Dad would retap the keg and get the food back out and the tables back out and redo it. So then each year it would grow, more and more family members would start to come out. Yeah. So it was a really, really big, that was, and I love that. That was my.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So excited for Sundays to do that. And it was one of those things, once again, friends at school would be like, you guys did what? Like, we went, we got to,
You guys had a picnic before a
football game? Yeah.
It was the noon game. We were out there Dad wanted to be out there by 7 o'clock, and the gates weren't even open yet. And my mom would be like, gosh, we have to go to Mass on Saturday because Sunday we're there all day.
Yeah.
She meant all day, bro.
Yeah, and that was an all-day thing.
We wouldn't get up till 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
Maybe a noon game, we wouldn't come till 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Wow.
We'd be out there cooking, eating, throwing the football around the parking lot.
And this is a great thing. So my parents used to have a Mexican restaurant on Johnson Drive. So it's called Devella's Mexican Food.
Mexican food,
Okay.
So through my brother, Bob, he would, befriended some of these guys and got, they would come there on Thursday nights, which would be their, team dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
And so Pops was in there one night. He was getting turned on some Coors Lights. So Tim Collier, he said, hey, Oakland Raiders were coming to town. And he said, hey, I want you to pick off Ken Stabler, and I want the ball. And he said, I got you. Say less. So game start comes up. First couple drives. Stabler throw one. Who picks it off but Tim Collier?
Nah.
So he kicks it off, gets tackled, runs, to the sideline, and Pops is turned.
Yeah.
So Pops says, Tim Collier threw. Now, mind you, third row, it's not the seventh row or not the ninth.
Right.
It's a third row. So Tim Collier throws this ball up, and Pop said he saw three and went and whiffed on it, and the ball hit off the floor, and my brother Vic had to pick it up, but it was like, so that's like, that was shit like, so my dad still has that ball that Ken Stabler, the snake, man, that that picked him off, and
the lefty.
So,
he was the lefty, right?
Yes, he was.
Yes,
he was. For us guys, I'm being interrupted.
No, you're good.
But for us as a family, you guys, it was about the tradition and family. We've had people want to offer us money for the rights to our tickets, and talking to people, we probably could get $100,000 for each ticket for the rights. We have 8 of them now. We have 6, the first 6, and then we got 2 more. I got 2 more for my nieces, so we have 8 now in section 120. And we could easily do that, but it's not about.
Yeah.
It's about everything that my mom and dad, that our mom and dad.
Yeah.
Our brother Bob, man, still rest his peace. We lost him in '99. That was our family tradition. And even when they were terrible in the '70s, like he said, on Monday we couldn't wait. We couldn't wait for Sunday to roll around.
Yeah.
We knew Saturday Mass. Sunday we was up at 5:30 in the morning, already had our clothes ready to go and getting it on and load the car up, load the station wagon up, and
station
head out
wagon.
to the old station wagon.
And just think back then, we didn't wear the jerseys to games, right?
No.
Just wore whatever, whatever you wanted to put on, and that's what we wore.
Yeah. There were some times I thought I had some red and gray plaid pants. And I said, Mom, how'd you let me out of the house like that? That's what you wanted to wear, man. You had red tennis shoes and red and gray plaid pants. And I said, but no, you guys, for us, really about just a family and the tradition that my mom and dad and brother Bob started, and now we just try to carry.
And it still continues. You guys get up early, go do the whole tailgate.
We're not as much tailgating for me now because of the work that I do. Yeah. But now we get over
nieces and nephews. They do that, and so they and it's same for me. And it started probably 5 years ago because obviously he has to be at every game, but for me, I'm just got old. And before my girls, I was just like, man. It is all day affair.
Yeah.
If it's a 3 o'clock game, you got to get there by 1 time you're leave. I mean, it's a long day, man. All my, a lot of my nieces and nephews, if it's a 7 o'clock game, they're there by noon. And they'll be like, Unc, you got to pull up. I'm like, hell no. I was doing that when you were gleaming your daddy's eye. I'm like, I'm not getting out there that early. And they, but they like to do it. So, not tailgate as much, but when I do, maybe 1 or 2 games a year. Mm-hmm. And say it's at 3 o'clock, Uncle pull up at noon. Yeah. That's early for me. That's plenty early for me. So, but not the early for us. But we have family that's still the younger generation, which is cool because they're taking that, they're taking that torch and pass it on. They'll pass it on to their, they've said like, my dad sees it. My dad's seats are generational tickets. You can never get the. I mean, it's just it's cool to see now the nieces and nephews, and now they're in their 20s. When they start their family, when we're long gone, you're talking about they will have. My little ones are up in their 20s. They will go to games and they'll be like, they just pass that tradition on of what that means.
That's cool. That is really.
I'll tell you
cool.
a great story about the family tradition, right? Yeah. Chiefs hadn't been to the Super Bowl in 50 years. Yeah. I was working for Frank Clark and the 2019 season. Playoffs, getting further and further in the playoffs. Now it's the first time the Chiefs are going to host an AFC Championship game. Yeah. So the whole family. I mean, we got extra tickets for all the nephews and nieces. Every one of us. My daughter, My daughter got to sit with her uncle and all the nieces and nephews. Everybody's at the game. So this is Friday. I'm going to pick up. I was with Frank 24/7 as I drove him to practice, drove him to games. So Friday I'm in the parking lot waiting for him to come out after practice, and I'm there. And Brett Veach sends me a text. He says, "Where you at?" I said, "I'm in the parking lot waiting for Frank." He says, "I got something for you." So he comes outside, and he said, "I know how much this means to you." And he said, "When we win on Sunday, I want you on the field when we're accepting the Lamar Hunt Trophy in Arrowhead. I want you on the field. You need to be on the field. These guys, a lot of these players love you. You do a lot of work for these guys. I know Frank would want you down there." He says, "I've only got one for you, so I know you probably want more." And you guys, I looked at that ticket like it was the Willy Wonka, like it was the golden day, man.
Yeah. I got the golden ticket. Yeah.
I'm looking at that thing like, I'm like, so that whole game, you guys, I'm just like, man, if we win this thing, like I'm going down this field.
Yeah.
Get closer and closer. And you knew it was coming down those last few minutes. And I'm there, and I literally had one of the young security guards, because he kind of knew the story too.
Yeah.
And I told him I had a pass. A couple minutes to go in the game. And so we already knew we were going to win. So family started going to the elevator, going down. And this one young kid, I'll never forget him, his name was Carlos, comes down, and he says, "Man," he goes, "come on." He goes, "You ready to go?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm going to take you on the side where the big tunnel rolls down, where the spiral staircase.
Yeah.
But it rolls down all the way to the very bottom. It goes to where you go in the tunnel.
Yes.
And it comes out that tunnel in the field." He goes, "I want you to be able to go out of that tunnel when you go on the field." So, I mean, you guys, I went down, game's almost over, I could hear everything. And hair raised up on your arms, tears in my face.
Your tippy toes are probably just freaking just gliding up down the rails.
As I'm going on the field, the Titans are coming off the field. And I'll never forget it. You guys, I have a video in my phone. I showed my mom and dad way back in the day. He's seen it. A video of me hugging and celebrating with Tyreek and Frank and Travis. And the whole time I'm crying. And the video I'm yelling at my mom and dad. I said, "This is for you. This is 50 years of what you guys have raised us. And this is for you guys. This right here is for you guys."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So cool moment.
So 3 boys.
Four boys, 1 daughter. Our sister's the oldest.
Oh, okay.
And then there was 4 boys. We lost our oldest brother in 1999 to leukemia.
Oh,
our brother
okay.
Bob.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was a family. All 5 of you kids,
all of us.
and everybody got to go.
Everybody got to go.
But you got to. Dad had to pick you up
Pick
to
me
be
up,
able to.
feet dragging on the ground.
Yeah.
And then I'd get passed down the aisle sitting on the lap. And
Yeah,
my brother's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Get off me, man. Get off me." And I end up on mom's lap.
They're like, "Hold on, you're 15. What are you doing on my lap?
Get off me, man. Don't watch this game. Get off me."
So
Yeah.
your sister's just as big as a fan as
She is.
you guys?
She is, but she was married. She was out in California
Okay.
for a long time. She's been back now for a few. Our sister's 75 years old, so
okay.
she's been back. Our mom.
Damn, dog. She probably ain't trying to have you drop her age like that.
That's all right.
Damn, man.
So she came back about 5 years ago when our mom started getting sick, and moved here and moved back and really just she was before then. She was in California. She'd always be like watching all the games and doing all the stuff.
Yeah.
But then when she got back here, she wanted to start going to some of the games. So she went to a few of them the first day she was here.
So then your dad had these tickets because he was a huge sports person as well. He wanted to be at all the games.
So my dad was going to the games with his brother, my uncle, the old stadium on Brooklyn. So they were going to games on the old municipal stadium, which was by Bryant's Barbecue right up the street. And so he would go, and like my mom was like, he would leave the house, they were living on the west side. He'd leave the house, and mama said, "Okay, bus," and they would go, and they would go and he said we'd sit on these cold bleachers because they sat and it was literally that back then it was the Wolfpack section, and he would sit out there, he would sit there with his brother, and he's like shivering cold, but that's just what the passion he had. And then my brother Bob, he started taking my brother Bob, and then when they moved to Arrowhead, my dad's like, "Hey, we're going to get, tickets," and had a chance. And initially my dad had seats across where the opposing team was for the first year. Then he switched to be behind the Chiefs bench.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it was a family thing, but my dad was going from the old stadium. So
1965.
Nice,
So 72 is when Arrowhead was built.
Okay.
So those first few years, Hank Stram wanted that side because he wanted to be in the sun. And then when Hank Stram retired, then that's when the other new coaches were like, we want to be on this side because that's the sunnier side on the visiting side. So when they flip sides, our dad said, well, we want to be behind the Chiefs fans, so we flipped our season tickets over to where they are now.
Okay. So let me see. As of right now, the arrowhead in the middle, can you see it? It's not upside down from the Chiefs.
No.
So
from the Chiefs side, you're on the Chiefs sideline, that arrowhead's facing you.
It's facing you. Okay, so it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before the arrowhead, what was there before? Do you guys recall?
A Chiefs helmet. It was just a red Chiefs helmet.
The red Chiefs helmet was in front.
Yeah.
That's right.
So then there was that old school helmet with just that.
Yes, the 2 bars.
Yeah.
The old quarterback.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And that was like the thing. I mean, the guys wore those. Remember when Joe Theismann used to wear that
one bar?
Just the one, man.
Like, come on, how many times you've got to get? I mean, eye gouge and hitting the face on purpose and an elbow.
Everything evolves. So,
I know, right?
There you go. That's a great point.
Now they look like freaking like demons.
Yeah.
And, I don't even know how they can see through all these little bars.
Yeah.
And they wear the shields.
Yeah, the shield, the bars, and the shields, the dark shields. I don't know how they see out of those things.
Yeah.
I know, right? Even at night games. I mean, they got lights and whatnot. But
you and Jaime used to wear those big sunglasses back in the day.
Yeah, the Oakleys. No, we wore the Jokleys.
The Jokleys.
We brought those. We would go to Juarez, Mexico. We buy as many as we can. We bring them back and we wear them.
I could never see out of those things, man. I was like, how these guys are playing? I don't know how these guys are up there batting with these sunglasses on, man.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. I forgot we were this. Yeah, but no, those are some good times, man. Those are great tradition. I'm putting it out there. You guys brought up the barbecue. You guys started.
So wait, let's go back though.
Yeah,
barbecue. I know you guys are part of the tailgating part of it, but you would bring Mexican food.
Oh yes, always.
So did you ever change over to the barbecue?
Oh, for sure.
Or...
It was rotated all the time.
Okay.
They did different. They do burgers and stuff sometimes. They do barbecue.
Okay.
Some of the mornings, my dad really wanted to do the chorizo and the eggs and the papas and all all the stuff. They get creative. There's an article, and I know we can go and find it. The Chiefs had done an article, one of their Sunday papers, on what people's recipes were out there.
Oh.
And the guy came rolling over, and it happened to be a day my dad made Mexican chili, beans, sopa, the tortillas, everything. So they did the whole thing. And then they were like, Nick Davila's Mexican chili. This is what they serve in parking lot G, So it was cool. They did this whole. My dad gave the recipe of the Mexican chili and everything. And of course he said, I didn't give him everything. I left a few things out.
Right.
There you go. Yeah. So back then, when you said Arrowhead went up 72, was
1972.
Was it called Arrowhead?
Arrowhead and Royal Stadium was both built.
Okay, that was my question. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
72.
So Dad's not a baseball fan then? Did you do tickets for...
No season tickets. No season. He's a big Royals fan. I mean, now he's watches every game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dad's 93.
Yeah, I'll call him to check in. They can, it'll be 6-0 Yankees. Like, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, watching the game. I'm like, man, turn that shit off. You're at 7th inning again down. He's like, I just enjoy it. I'm like, well, yes, I get it. But no, but we would go to 3 or 4 Royals games a year. It's funny because back then, I was more familiar with the Chicago Cubs because they were on WGN.
Right.
So every day I'd get off from school and my backyard backed up to my elementary school. So I would hop the fence and my mom, once again, it's the visions, the smells that you have as a kid, would be making flour tortillas in the kitchen. And we had a back TV area. And, it was HBO, which was a big deal, cable back then. And the
home box office.
Yes, exactly. Home box office. Absolutely.
Wait,
and I would. Yeah, exactly.
That's what it stands for. Yeah. That's what it was. Home box office. Yeah. I'm going home watch home box office.
That's right. And I would so by the time I was getting off school, the games would be Cubs games would just be starting, at that time, because that was before they were playing at night. So it was just day games for the Cubs. So I knew their whole. I knew their whole lineup. I knew their bullpen, and because the Royals games, you would listen to them. My dad always had the Royals games on. But as far as they were on, they weren't. You couldn't watch them. You either you went to the game, you either went to the game, or that was it. So I just knew the Cubs, and I knew them well, and so I have a deep love for the Cubs too, because I just grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up, and people are like, oh, you live in Kansas City. It's like, yeah, but you don't understand. It's like when I was there, I got to see. You get home from school or in the middle of the afternoon when it's kind of like. You'd watch a Cubs game because you were just so. Once again, sports was everything. If you weren't playing it outside, or if you weren't, you were trying to watch it. And it was on. It was even before a lot of ESPN, stuff that was going on with ESPN. It was just WGN and Harry Carey, he'd be getting faded with Budweisers in the booth, and that shit was not monitored at all. When he was hanging out that window, singing the, take me out of the ballpark. A lot of times I was like, this old boy's gonna fall out, man. He's gonna fall out the window. But it was just the Cubs and and what that was. But yeah.
Can you imagine that though? Like not being able to see the Royals play, but you could go and watch the Cubs
Shit,
play?
you can't see the Royals play right now, man.
Yeah,
I know. That's
with
true
all
too.
this, and that's why baseball, man. Being a sports fan, they don't seem to get it right. It's just they make it so difficult for you to watch, and you got to get this package, but you got to get this package. It's your hometown team, it's your hometown team, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have friends, last year it's changed up a little bit, but they would get the MLB package.
Okay.
So they could do it. But they couldn't watch, certain games still with having the MLB package, and because it was blacked out because another network bought it, or it was an Apple TV game, and it's like you're paying all this money. So I remember, my dad, he was bummed because they didn't have, I forgot what it is, Spectrum.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so
wow.
he couldn't get it, and it was like, and you feel bad, but it's like those, and where this is all going, billionaires, against billionaires, it's like the old people who this is his entertainment for the summer. This is what he really loves and enjoys do, but he can't do it, because he needs to get this package and this package and this. It makes it challenging. So it's funny because it's like it should be so much more advanced and so much easily available to your local outlet that it is, But like back then you couldn't see it. Now you really can't see it.
Yeah, that's true.
I know. Yeah. Hey, Jude, can you turn that mic just toward
sorry.
you? Yeah.
Yep. Better?
Yeah, or you can just unloosen it there. And then just kind of turn it a little bit toward you. Yeah, but like you were saying, that I'm a huge New York Knicks fan.
Mm-hmm.
And that all started for me right.
Mike Brown's
Kings,
busted, bro.
The Kings were the team, for all of us, and then they left, and I'm like, I'm not gonna cheer for Sacramento, Patrick Ewing back in '85, 83. He was in Georgetown.
Starks.
That's to this day I still watch Georgetown and they still don't win. But anyway, Ewing fan. He went to the Knicks. Boom, I became a diehard Knicks fan since then. Chicago Bulls were on our TV all the damn time.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Just like you said, the Cubs.
Of course.
Yeah, WGN.
Yeah, and then the Atlanta Braves. My dad was a Braves fan.
TBS.
Why? Because we couldn't watch the Royals. Because he was watching the Braves.
Atlanta, the Braves are the Cubs.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Speaking of the Braves, let's go back to the NAFA. There was a team out there. Oh. They were called the Braves, right? They wore the Braves uniforms. Dude, every jersey they had was a member. The name of was a member of the Atlanta Braves. So McGriff, Jones.
McGriff was there.
Oh, that's
Jones was
awesome.
there.
Pants.
Yeah.
I mean, all these guys they were the authentic jerseys, but they were all like, okay, like I said, I want McGriff.
Right. I want Glavine.
Who was it? Chipper Jones, number
Jones.
10.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was like, these guys are really wearing the I wouldn't even want to wear it to play,
Yeah, Atlanta always had some of the dopest uniforms.
One guy had number 44, H. Aaron on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
like,
right.
God, why would you wear that? But that was those were their uniforms.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was different,
Yeah, it was crazy. And talking about softball, fast pitch, I remember one time when I was younger, before, I got to play. I was just out there playing in the playgrounds and whatnot. And there was a team that would come in, and they were called the Orioles. And they had the Baltimore Orioles. Dude, I was starstruck.
Right.
Just watching these grown men play fast pitch softball. I had no idea. I was like, the Baltimore Orioles are playing in this softball tournament? Again, I was 9 years old. I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And so then they took me back to watching these guys wearing the Braves uniforms. I'm like, man. So we had the Bravos and the Braves out there.
Yeah, Bravos and the Braves this weekend.
Yeah, shout out to the Bravos. Yeah, but growing up, now which one of you guys is like your mom or like your dad? Anybody ever say, "Oh man, you just like dad," or "You just like mom," or you guys ever been told anything like that?
I think I'm like my mom.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, yeah. I think I am. And I've been told that. Not a lot, but I mean, just like I saw someone in Mass yesterday, actually. And her sister was married to, or was my cousin through marriage.
Yeah.
And so she turned around and she's like, "You remind me so much of your mother."
Really?
And I was like, wow.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Jude, for you?
I think kind of the craziest thing for me about our family was all the siblings everybody had their own personality. Man.
Right.
Everybody was, I don't know how it is like with your kids and stuff. Like, because sometimes you'll see like, you know, the two brothers are, they're a lot alike or whatever. And even though like we're so close and so close with all of our brothers, everybody was so different, you guys. Like my brother Victor, our brother Victor, that guy could go look at a blueprint. He could build you a house. I can't hammer a nail in straight. Neither can this guy.
Nope.
He had to add you in there.
Yeah,
I can't hammer a nail.
Yeah. Speak for me, dog. You don't know what I can do.
Well, I can't hammer a nail in straight. I can't change you. I can't
that's
do
better. That's better. That's more like it. Speak for yourself.
Because I know you're right behind me asking me where the gas goes in the car. So I already know that.
But yeah, it is weird because it's like you're same mom and dad, but yet they're all so different. Yes.
And then for me, I was a guy that I could live in basketball shorts and tennis shoes every single day and be comfortable. This guy, no way. I mean, and school. I mean, people now that were 50 years old will remember this guy and his dress, his swag, his scarves, his hats, his stuff. But he's always loved fashion. Yeah. He's always loved fashion. You know, he'll look at me and be like, "Damn, bro, aren't you tired of basketball shorts and a sweatshirt?"
Yeah, I'm like, "Come on, man, what's that, dog?"
That's me. But this guy has always been into fashion, always been into clothes, always been in design. A funny story again about Travis Kelce. I started working with Travis. About the second year I was working for him, we went out and we met him. We're at a bar having drinks, and he's sitting there. He's looking at Jamie. He's looking at him, looking at what he's wearing. And I'm wondering, like, what's he thinking?
What's going through his head?
And he turns around and he goes, "Man," he goes, "you're serious." He goes, "Jamie's never left Kansas City. Like, he didn't live in L.A., he didn't live in New York."
That's a compliment.
And I said, "No." I said, "He's never." I said, "He's just here in Kansas City." He goes, "He got too much swag, bro. He needs to be in L.A. or New York." And he loved that. He'll eat that comment up until the day he dies.
Yeah.
Because
of course, he was like, "You don't need to put anything in his head. His head's already big enough." I'm saying that shit.
But Travis, he always did. He said, "Man, your brother's always like." So that's always been one of his things, man.
Yeah.
Is the restaurant hospitality. He's always done really, really well in the restaurants. His clothes and what he wears, and like cool. I said, I'm the guy that's going to go to the store and find 3 shirts for $30. This guy, no.
Jimmy was like, "What do you think of this shirt?" I'm like, "You look like Charlie Brown, dog. Come on, man, with that." Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny. I like the T-shirt though. The Neon Dion.
Neon Dion. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I like his T-shirt
and then,
with Caitlin on it.
Yeah, Caitlin and who the other girls is?
Sophie Cunningham.
Oh, okay.
Sophie. So we had Jillian Carroll on our podcast here not too long ago.
Yeah.
Jillian Carroll, she started a podcast. Sophie Cunningham was her first person on her very first podcast. Okay. Now, I didn't know Sophie played at the University of Missouri. So Jillian's got some contacts into her. You know, she's blown up now since that whole incident where she protected Caitlin.
Yeah.
But we want to. Hey, listen, we're shooting for the stars with this podcast. I know we'll get into that here a little bit later.
Yeah.
But Sophie's someone that we will go. I will find a way to get Sophie Cunningham on Love You Bro podcast.
Okay.
Even if you guys have to travel.
Whatever we got to do.
Right.
That's what I think I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Sophie's someone.
And what's funny about that is when we had Jillian on, she, you know, obviously she's wildly successful, and you know, she played football, which is wild. Yeah. She played football, which is crazy. Yes. And she was the only girl, and this is, you know, but so we started talking about just how big, you know, women's sports are, and you know, the KC Current and everything that's taking place and taking shape, and how they're getting paid in WNBA. And I was like, you know, who my favorite player is, and is like Sophie Cunningham. And she was like, "Oh my God!" And this is so that was on Monday night. We shot. Tuesday night was the incident, and then she just went crazy. But she was like, so Jillian's like, "My God!" She does a podcast. Jillian does. And she goes, my first guest was Sophie Cunningham. And I was like, "Oh my God, no shit!" I was like, "That's amazing." So yeah, that's it's that's a great shirt. I do like that too.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
I like Caitlin. I think she's something special the league's never seen before. And I know there's a lot of great women basketball players, and I know a lot of girls stand up in that league and say, "We were here before she was."
Yes.
But I don't think anybody's done it the way Caitlin has.
Right.
I agree.
Where she shoots the ball from.
Yep.
What she does with the ball in her hands. And I know there was the Cheryl Swoops, and there was all the, you know, some amazing players in that league. But I still don't think anybody's done it or will do it as long as she stays healthy the way Caitlin does it.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, and I think it was trending that way because I think Caitlin was the factor that it shot it to another, you know, stratosphere. Yeah. But you know, and once again, just being a sports guy, from where the WNBA is now, and this is before Caitlin, the game just started to become better and more polished, and they started to do more stuff they weren't doing 10 years ago.
Right.
You know, they weren't doing 10 years ago. But like, you know, like Kelsey Plum's like, she's a real one. She's a gangster. And she's, you know, and the thing about, you know, the WNBA, they kind of bought in and took things from the NBA that work for the NBA. And what's so cool is, once again, when you see football teams or you see, and they have like a mandatory dress code, you got to show up in your suit, you got to show up in your socks. So, you know, 10 years ago, it became such a huge thing in the NBA to see what the dudes were pulling up in.
Right.
If they're, and they would have what swag they on, who they were wearing, what they were wearing. It became a red carpet without even being a red carpet. And I tell this to people all the time. I said, the sport that is absolutely, football is the number one. I go, but the sport that has changed the culture, changed everything, is the NBA. And I go, NBA, you'll see football jerseys, but every kid in every walk of life, whether you're blue collar, white collar, are all rocking NBA jerseys. Steph Curry's, Ant-Man, and the shoes that come out. They're dictating the $120 shoes everyone's buying. You can't go buy cleats. Football players have helmets on, but NBA guys are so, like, you can see them. There's their faces. And obviously the dollars are going to the NBA, and you have guys that are not even off the bench are making $4 and $5 million a year.
Yeah.
So that whole, but in the NBA or the WNBA embrace that. So you see these ladies now, and they come in and they're dripped out, and they're like, it's cool, and it's like, whoa, what's she wearing?
Yeah, really cool.
And it's a thing. So they embrace it, and they're, you know, finally they're getting their just, and they should have been getting, you know, that money and that, and so now, but a case one has pushed the needle, and it's like anything else. There's a lot of jealous people out there, and it gets to, you know, I don't get involved in those like chat rooms, like, oh, it's a racial thing. It's why it's not. It's like, no, it's what it is. She's bought into that role of being a villain, and just like, okay, I'll do it. I'm cool with doing it. And if this is what it is, but at the end of the day, if you were to ask the people that hate on it, that are in the WNBA, behind closed doors, microphones off, they'd be like, hell yeah, she is absolute. She's making me more money. She's making me more marketable. She's making me more profitable. The orange sweatshirts that they put out like the last year or the year before, you'd see guys in the NBA wearing them, but now they're sold out everywhere. You can't get them, and it's like, that's all going back into my pocket. So yes,
right.
You know, so
yeah, Caitlin Clark, she's done a lot. You know, it's what I mean. We were watching her at Iowa.
At Iowa, of course.
Yeah, and then as soon as the WNBA, then we started watching that. You know, it took her to start getting those.
I was really hoping we were getting the NBWA here.
Yes,
listen, I'm telling you right now. Pretty in Patrick Mahomes right now.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Right. That'd be dope, man.
If anybody could get it done, it's those two.
I agree.
I think it'll be here soon.
I hope so. That would be
the next 5 years.
I mean, but do we have the market to do that? I mean,
absolutely. I think Kansas City is a basketball town. I think they love college basketball. I think they would support the WNBA. I know I'd go.
Oh yeah, I'd go too.
Same.
I know I'd go.
And then just imagine when she would show up, and then she's even said that she would love to play.
Right. Yeah, you know, she's a Chiefs fan.
She's a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool when she came to the playoff games, and
But look what she did, you guys. That year, her senior year, and the Final Four.
Right.
I mean, you start seeing there was dudes showing up to the arena with her jersey.
Right.
With the Caitlin Clark jersey. When was the last time you saw guys wearing a female athlete's jersey? Which I thought was super cool. I got a Caitlin 22. I got a 22 gold Iowa jersey. Yes, I did.
Yeah. Oh, an Iowa jersey.
Yes. Iowa 22, Caitlin Clark. Yes.
What about the Fever?
Yes. I do not have a Fever. I do not. I bought some of her stuff when she was making that Final Four run. Yeah. I bought some of her yellow and black jerseys for Caitlin Clark. So, it's a huge Caitlin Clark fan.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't realize. You know, when did they start letting the college kids sell jerseys? How did that come about? Do you guys know?
With the NIL, I think with all the NIL, right?
Yeah, that's just last 4 or 5 years, or something like that.
Right.
I have a shit. Now I knew I was gonna forget his name, but I have his jersey. He played for KU. Played with LaFrance.
Kirk Heinrich.
No.
Nope.
The other big guy.
Pollard.
I used to love watching Pollard. It was something about, you know, I was a guard, but I used to love watching the big guys play. You know, and Scott. He was fun to watch. I enjoy watching. But his name, but when I bought the jersey, his name wasn't on the back. You know, back then it was just the number and, you know, so I was like, when did they start putting the players' names on these jerseys?
I think it depends on the university. I think names have been on the back of the jerseys for a while, but they really haven't, I don't think, really sold them the way they pushed the last 10, 15 years. But in the last 5, that's when the NIL started with actually.
Yeah, and I think also the college, they like the superstars, the superstars, whether it's like Carmelo Anthony or Durant, but a lot of the colleges just generically put number 4 because there's going to be a number 4 the following year. So it's not you're having to buy a jersey, every year because your guy's leaving after this year. So, but something that it's now NIL, you have kids who probably they may go play overseas, but they sell a lot of their practice shit because they get bags and bags of like jerseys and bags of like in football if you're going to a bowl game. But the college kids, they get tons of shit that they don't even wear. So you'll go see it and they'll be selling, their Final Four practice stuff.
Yeah.
And they're making a lot of money and it's good for them because they're like, before they couldn't do that. Before they could have been doing
couldn't.
No, they could not.
There's a company that's out there now. There's a company out there where you can actually, if you're a player, you can call them and say, what's my worth on my stuff? And they can say, well, what do you have? And like Jamie said, they can say, I've had some, Final Four shoes I wore during practice, some jersey stuff from the Final Four. That stuff will be worth more money. But and it's a couple guys, because it was a thing on 60 Minutes, and it's 2 guys from the East Coast. Yeah. And the company
played at Michigan, right?
Yeah, I think they did. It's a huge warehouse, you guys. So you can go by school and go North Carolina, and they'll be like, okay, Carolina, like what year, what player, and no, we don't have anything from that guy, or what they do. But it's huge warehouse, and they're actually selling it, and then they get a percentage of it because they're obviously overseeing everything, and then the player gets the rest of it or whatever. But that's starting like in the last few years.
Yeah,
because those guys were on 60 Minutes.
Which is cool, man. Which is cool that they get.
Okay, that makes sense because I know, like on Marketplace, I'm seeing these shoes that are KU shoes, and I'm like, okay, I guess the players decided to sell their extra pair of shoes or something.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
And let's go ahead and get into our next segment. We talking sports and whatnot. And I know you guys love it, especially you, Jamie. I know, you've been talking about a lot. So you guys started a podcast, right? Love You Bro podcast, which is awesome. And Jude, I remember when you come into the show, you talked about doing it, and I'm like, and I said the same thing. I said, dude, get it done.
Right.
And I remember when you said, man, what do you think? What do you think of this name? I Love You Bro. I said, perfect, dude. Said, I'm talking to my brother all the time, and so before we hang up, hey, love you, bro. Love you too.
I can't thank you enough for being so supportive and being like, hey, go out there and do this, man. Go make it happen. Go do it. So. Thank you for your, just tips and different things you said. Hey, man, try this, do this, and I come to you every now and then, don't I?
Yeah.
And I say, what do you think? Critique, because I want to know the good, the bad. Yeah. I want to know how we keep improving, how we do all that. So, absolutely, thank you for.
You're welcome, and and I'm sure. I can use the help too. And I know there's haters out there that probably say, shit that they want to say. And I know they're out there. I know
man.
It is. Wait till they see this episode. Now these haters are going to go, now look. Now Big Modcast and Love You, bro. Now they're bringing it all together now.
Yeah. And it's funny when you say that because, 15 years ago, I'd like get under my skin. Now I'm like, fuck them. They're just talking shit for just talking shit. Like they're not, it's like, it's.
Apparently they're listening.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it.
It's like 100%. It's like, because if I didn't like something, I'm not going to watch it. Like, I don't like Real Housewives. My wife's trying to make me watch it. I'm like, I'm not watching this shit. No offense. And you watch it and that's cool. But I'm like, I'm not going to spend time on it.
Mario, we had Steven St. John on our show.
Yeah.
And Steven St. John, we were off air and we were sitting there talking. And St. John says, he goes, I'm going to tell you something. He goes, you guys are doing a really, really good job. He said, I'm impressed by your production team and your intern, all your stuff you got going on. But he said, trust me. He said, guys at One Arrowhead Drive, people in this town that matter, people at 810.
Yeah.
They're less, there's people noticing because I've had conversations at 810 with people before. So it's nice to know that, okay, maybe somebody's listening out there. People that, because you hear some of the stuff from the haters and people are like, June and Jamie got a podcast now. Hey, listen, we're doing it because we love it. Exactly. We have a lot of passion for sports. Yeah. You want to listen, do. If you don't.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with me. I do this because I'm with my family. Yeah. I'm bringing friends. I'm bringing family into the show.
Yeah, passion for it.
Let's talk memories. Yeah. That's what our show is about. Yeah. Let's talk memories. And, you guys are bringing up stories that I don't know if you've shared on your pod or, with others. Yeah. But, it's just, that's what we do here.
Right. Yeah.
Let's talk memories. We'll talk memories and then we'll go talk about some other stuff.
Yeah, right. For sure.
What was it that sparked it? Was it just you guys always just talking sports and?
Yeah, you were sharing your story earlier.
My wife. Yeah. Shout out to my wife Jessica. She is. She's the reason. She's the reason behind Love You, Bro. I mean, he knows this.
Yep.
Every morning, Jamie and I get up, and this has gone on for you guys for.
Did you hear about the trade?
Oh
Did you
my
hear
God,
about
20 years. 20 years. And this guy, he'll always tell me, I don't care what season it is, bro. We'll start the year off. It could be the Royals. It could be KU, the Chiefs. Every year we're winning a Super Bowl or a national championship. And this guy's the guy that's like, nope. We're going 8-6 this year. We're going, keep
it real, yeah.
He all the time. And he'll be like, you're the homer. Everybody's gonna have 50 home runs, and we're gonna win a World Series every year. First game of the year. So that's what really started. And our parents used to have to separate us, at the dinner table. We're, just because we'd be so passionate about sports and a player, and we'd be going,
really?
and mom and dad would be like, hey, enough between you two. Like, you go to this room, you go to this room. So Jessica, in the mornings, I'd get up, have it on speaker. Jamie's at his place. We're getting ready for the day. He's yelling at me. I'm yelling at him. I'm like this. And he's like, no, that's not the way it is. And we sit there and go, we could get mad all day long, you guys, all day long. And at the end of the conversation, it'd always be, love you, bro. Because at the very end of the day, that's all that matters.
Right.
But my wife would hear this every morning, and she was like, you guys got a podcast, right? I was like, we don't have time to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And we started talking. I started talking to him. I said, what do you think? And I asked her, I said, what would you call it? And she said, love you, bro. She goes, you guys have there's your name right there. And after we thought about it, and her son owns a place called Specialized Printing. Little shout out to my stepson, Tommy O'Donnell. He does great work over there.
Okay.
So Tommy loves all the graphics and all the stuff, and so he started fooling around with it. And then he started sending me text messages. What do you think about this logo? What do you think about this? So I'm looking, and I said, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get into it. We talked to some friends of ours, and they said, hey, we'll sponsor and back this thing. Let's get it off the ground and get it running. So we'll go tonight. We'll go later on to our studio tonight and shoot episode 48.
Okay.
And where is your studio?
Lula Southern Cookhouse, 16th and Main, and their event space.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Lula.
Yeah, shout out to Lula and Bradley and Brittany Gilmore. We want to invite you guys to come down one day to come down, check our podcast out at Lula.
That'd be
come
cool.
on the show, and then I'll give Bradley and Brittany will throw you guys a nice gift card out to go down there and have dinner. You guys will love it. Great food down there.
Yeah.
Great food.
Amazing.
Hey, can I get another beer? I'm a little parched
I
over
can
here.
get you. I can get you.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, that
I'll have one as well if you don't mind.
That's cool. Yeah.
Nicole's just awesome.
Yeah. What other different? Have you guys? What other different locations? Like, where did you start, or is it?
Yeah, we started at Nimble Brewing, and they're down in the Crossroads as well.
Okay.
So good friends of ours, and they weren't open on Mondays, so they were like, you guys can come down here. So we started down there, and then they recently, or not recently, but then the owner was trying to sell the building, so they were looking for another place.
Oh, okay.
So we got into Lula's, but we're actually our first time we'll do from the MUKU game. We're gonna do it from Columbia, which will be really cool. So it'll be our first time, venturing outside of the studio to do it, which will be cool and which will be fun and different. And we hope to get a lot of guests come through, just, if it's for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, but it's just, we're excited about it, but
That's cool. Good luck with that. That'd be awesome.
September 6th, we had a guy from Westport Flea Market, a good friend of ours, Joe Zwillenberg, huge MU alumni.
Yeah.
And so we had been talking to him a little bit. Jamie had been talking to him a little bit. And he was like, why don't you guys come down and do a live podcast, that KU-MU game?
Yeah.
And we're huge diehard Jayhawk fans. We have a ton of family and friends on the Missouri side that love their Tigers.
Yeah.
We just did a Missouri football kickoff show last week.
Okay.
We had on Mitch Morris. Martin Rucker was in studio.
Yeah.
And then we had Mitch Morris and Jeremy Macklin call in. I mean, 3 Missouri legends.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And to hear those guys talk about the 07 team, which Jeremy and Martin Rucker played on.
Yeah.
And then the 2013 team that Mitch played on. They kind of went back and forth a little bit about
which team was
better. It was great. So we're excited about doing that.
Okay.
We have some great sponsors. We're going to sponsor jerseys. We're going to have some people handing out beers at our tent. So handing out beers. We're going to have Love You Bro, the black with the gold.
Okay.
Love You Bro shirts, sponsor's name on the back, and then we have the crimson and blue.
Okay.
So we hand out t-shirts. Yeah, everybody that comes in, all you gotta do is just show that you are a follower, liker, subscriber to our show. Come in, grab a beer, get your t-shirt. Yeah. On whatever side of the state line you're on, whichever team you're rooting for.
There you go.
So we're excited about it, man. We're super excited about it.
Can't wait till you guys get the purple and gray.
Yeah. So we're hopefully going to do
Wildcat,
KUK State.
We're hoping to do the KUK State game in October
That'd be
in
cool.
Lawrence.
Nice.
Okay.
So hey, how about that's what we'll do? We'll wait for the purple ones to come out. The purple and the gray. We'll get you guys some Love You Bro purple gray. So you guys have the K-State ones.
That'd be cool.
Deal? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll make sure we get your size before you guys leave.
All right, yeah.
When those shirts come out, we got you.
That's cool.
Okay, so it's episode what you're going to do tonight?
48 tonight.
48. So what was your official first day? How long have you guys been doing this?
Since May of 24. May of 24.
Okay.
May of 24 we started it. We were there in Nimble Brewing. We got a company called KC Podcasting Company. A couple of guys in the Crossroads had a production company that we met with, and so that's
who's helping you guys.
That's who produces everything for us. We've got a guy named Quinn Cosgrove. He's our social media guy.
It's great.
We got an intern. So we're having a lot of fun with it. We're growing with it.
Yeah.
But as you guys know, our thing is it's everything sports. Everything sports and everything Kansas City. And over the 22 years of me being in the business I've been in, I've been blessed and fortunate to work with a lot of great people. We've had Coach Dave Coley on, who was a head coach in the NFL. Listen to his story, and it's really great. And I love it because Jamie knows, because he was there with me from day one with the primetime assistants. He knows what I went through to grind to make it.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of times he's like, you don't get enough props. You don't get enough for what you put in, for what you've done for these guys.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have some of these guys on that thank you for what you did for them when they were in the league.
Definitely, yeah.
Right.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's for me it was strictly just do it for fun, and it's like I wasn't real hip to it at first. I was like, man, first of all, I don't have a ton of time. Second of all, I'm like, I just, I don't know. I was like, then I was like, yeah, let's give it a shot. Started to go, and and I also knew, like, I'm too down the road in my life to like all the haters and just bullshit that goes on. But then as I started to do it, I was like, it kind of motivated me, like all these assholes, whether they're local guys that talk shit or it's like, I'm like, so I'm like, you know what, man? Okay, cool. This is, what I'm having fun doing it. And that's what it was. Well, then we had Grunhard and Moss came on.
Right. I remember that one.
So, and they're telling stories that were incredible. And one of them was the Joe Montana. He's like, Grunhard tells this terrific story. He's like, I let Ted Washington, who's a monster of a man, blow by me, blows the play up, and he goes, ball comes out, they fall on it, and he goes, here we go again. He was like, Denver goes down and scores, and he goes, it's it, because Denver kicked our ass all the time. We could never beat Denver, especially in Mile High.
Yeah.
Well, who was their back?
Terrell Davis.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Grunhard goes, he's like, we're just kind of hanging our heads on the sideline, and he's like, he goes, so they kick off, come back out, and he goes, we're just down. And he goes, Joe walks back in the huddle, and he goes, the first thing is like, look at those cheerleaders and the chaps are in. And he goes, the whole, he's like, and he goes, come on, guys, this is what I'm here to do. And he goes, it was just a completely different feel. Well, that reel, I started getting texts from people. It got over 1 million views, which is crazy. And it's like, once again, a couple dipshits is trying to do it. And it's like, holy shit, that's 1 million views.
On, man.
And it wasn't, obviously it wasn't, it was sharing the story, but it was really great. So, as we kind of started to get, a little bit further along, well, then the Super Bowl episode comes out. So I was like, fuck, whatever their coach's name is. I was like, fuck him. It's like, he's not a coach at all.
Sirianni.
Yeah, Sirianni.
Yeah,
so I'm like, man.
Not a fan.
So I'm like, fuck him, man. He's not a coach, this and that. So my wife started going, dude, there's like thousands of haters calling you a fucking faggot and calling you a bitch and all this. Oh my God. Philly fans came after me like.
Did they really?
Like, oh my God.
You guys
there
was
just
in those
like,
sections?
all that stuff is yes. And I was like, oh my God. And she goes, my family's like, dude, they're like, holy shit. I was like, and I had homies hit me up like, dog, Philly coming after you. And I was like, they take that shit serious. I go, well, and then I was like, well, they're watching and they're paying attention. If they're saying, if that in their comments, but they were like, you know, I mean, I was like, everything they could possibly, rip me apart.
They came after you hard, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
They were talking about who is this guy with his legs crossed, scarf on? What's he know about football? This, that, and the other. But it was really cool because when we started looking, we'll sit down with Casey Podcast Company and we'll look at all the graphics and stuff and demographics of who's listening and stuff and where. Yeah. And we've got some listenership, viewership in Philadelphia, Chicago. And so it's like seeing some of that. I don't know. Chicago, we've got some friends there that could have sparked some of it. Right. But the Philly thing for sure, when we kind of ripped and lit into Philly, because you guys, it was the comments on some of the stuff. There'd be over, on one reel, there'd be over 700-800 comments on some of the reels. Yeah. And it was Philly people just like, who are these guys? Who are these clowns in Kansas City? What do they know?
It was, I mean, like, you know, at night I'll smoke a pre-roll, and I was like sitting there and I was like, oh my God. I go, damn, this dude says I sound like Kermit. I sound worse than Mahomes. What's my bitch ass problem? I was like, that's funny shit. And I'll put a crying, laughing face on that. I was like, I'm in for all of this stuff. But yeah, it was funny.
So Mario, don't think we talked here a few weeks ago about the Chiefs season, what we thought, and I went haywire on that home opener against the Eagles. So I told all the Philly fans, bring all the smoke. We're here. We'll do a show. We'll invite you to the show. We'll do whatever. So
and when he was saying that, I was like, I had my shit. I was like, I ain't going back there.
I told Philly, bring all the smoke, man. We're not losing the home opener to Philly this year. I'm telling you.
Oh, that's funny.
That's and it's a home game.
Home game, September 14th. Yeah. 3:25. Eagles here in town.
Nice.
Yes.
You ready for that one? Huh? I know everybody's ready for that one.
Ready. The young man that I'm working with, I'll say his name. I mean, great kid. Josh Simmons is a kid I'm working with right now. Yeah. And offensive tackle that, people weren't sure what, because he came off he tore his patellar tendon at Ohio State, second game of the year last year. So people didn't know what that injury was going to look like. Yeah. All I can say is the guy's taking every snap during training camp.
He's working.
Played well last week. He'll be the first to tell you, like, every day you learn something new, and every day stuff's getting thrown at you, and the speed of the game. But I'm telling you, if this kid is who we think he's going to be, this kid could be a cornerstone for the next 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And all of a sudden, you tighten that offensive lineup, it's going to change things for the Chiefs for sure. It's not going to be that just running by them the way they were, the last time. Yeah. Right. But Josh Simmons, I'm expecting him to have a big season, not just because I'm working with him. Great kid, great work ethic. I mean, I think he's just so dialed in right now because he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Yeah, a lot of pressure of can you be the guy that protects 15? Right. It's a lot, man. You're 22 years old. Huge.
For what Patrick has done.
Huge.
You have to protect him.
Huge.
Yeah. Can't afford to let that man get hurt.
No.
Protect him.
No, we got to.
Yep. How many people do you have in your crew working?
So we've got about 5 people, about 5 people on set, behind the scenes, about 5 people on there. Yeah. And then my wife always coming, making sure we've got cold beers and doing all the stuff and doing all the dirty work, making sure we got food and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Where would we be without our wifeys? I'm telling you. Listen, we owe this whole podcast to my wife. Yeah. I will not take the credit for this. He will not take the credit for this. Jessica, my wife, shout out to her because she was the one who said, let's do it, do this.
She may be saying, you know what, you just need to change the name. I love you, Jessica.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. If you're going to give, she's going to say, you going to give me that many props, you better change the name.
Yeah, listen. Right. And she loves when she sees the bigger guests come on and she comes in there.
Yeah, because she joined us the day you came in, solo. Yes. Yeah, she joined us. Yes. Or she was there with me. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
It's been very nice meeting you guys and talking with you, but I have to run, so
yes.
Wish I could stay. Thank
you so much.
I know, but
we'll see you soon on set.
Very great to see you. Thank you for inviting us on.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah. What episode would you say was your most successful episode? I mean, I'm sure they all are, but which one is?
The Moss and Gruner, don't you think?
I don't. For me, I rank it as, or not rank it, but like
you put it up there.
How I have who I had the most fun with, and it was just really easy and floating. Mine was Sharon Collins. Sharon Collins. He doesn't do podcast.
Okay.
But I got to meet him, get pretty close to him. when I had a restaurant in Lawrence, and so I got to be pretty close with the basketball team and Coach Self, and just I have a couple of great friends. One still coaches up there, Brendan Burchard, and then Brady Morningstar. So I got to meet Sharon and got pretty close with him. So he just doesn't do them. He's kind of a shy guy and just kind of keeps to himself, even though he coaches at Oak Park and just won a state championship. He doesn't do a lot of them. So he called me back and was like, hey, fam, when do you want me down? I was like, okay. So it was just really great. And, some of the stories that he shared, McDonald's All-American game was one of my most fun stories.
Great reel.
He was like, he's like, Durant was on that team so he's like, we're feeding Durant McDonald's All-American game. And he goes, late in the game, I get a steal. And he goes, I'm coming down. And he goes, he's hollering, throw it off the glass. And so he goes, I was like, nah, I got to get mine. So he threw down a nasty dunk. Yeah. But the clip has shown it. But that was a great story because he really, he talked about his, struggles getting to Lawrence and what that meant. So it was cool. For me, that was probably my favorite one. Cool, yeah. And not that because he's my guy, but it was just the struggle was real. It was real going up there, and he went to hear these kids, and obviously had a little success outside of college, but had so much success at college. But how close he was to being like, I'm out, I'm done. But in that adversity and just the ability, like I said, to push through that and see him to a national championship. So that was probably my favorite. I don't know what yours was, Jude, or what has been.
We've been blessed, man. We've had some really good guests on, and like I said, blessed because the 23 years of the work I've put into Primetime Assistance has allowed us to have these contacts and reach out to these guys. And I think the coolest thing is when you get a guy like a Mitch Morris, a Sharon Collins, a guy George Karlaftis that says, never done a podcast. I've been asked to do podcasts, never done them. We'll come on your guys' podcast. That's cool. So that's a cool thing for me is when they tell me they've never been on one, they've been asked a million times. We'll come on your guys' podcast. It means a lot to me that they're taking time out of their schedule to come and be on ours, and help us try to move the needle a little bit. Yeah. Right now, I'm the point right now, Mario, where I've got some bigger names, people that I'm gonna go after and ask. Like I told Jamie, the worst thing they can do is tell me what no. Same place I was 5 minutes ago. So
yeah, exactly.
But we got some big names that we're gonna go after.
Now, do you remember the big name that I was trying to get when you came in and I was when we talked and I told you who I was trying to get?
I don't.
And I gave you the story and where I met him. And whatnot.
I don't.
Trent Green.
Trent Green, yes.
Remember?
Yes.
Yeah, I tried to get Trent Green on, and I'll give you the quick story that I told you and on his episode. So Trent, his daughter, and my daughter were playing volleyball against each other in these big tournaments and whatnot, and his daughter's phenomenal. Yeah. Phenomenal volleyball player to watch. I mean, she had people watching anyway, because they all knew who her dad was too. So I would see him here all the time, but never talk to him. Finally, we crossed paths in Chicago at a big tournament there. Talked to him and said, hey, for Kent City, our daughters playing each other, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, hey, I have a podcast. I said, would you be interested to come in? He's like, yeah, I'll come in. I said, and then at the time I was like, well, how are we going to communicate here? And he says, hey, do you have a business card? And I was like, I don't. He says, get a business card and I'll come on. Mm-hmm. I freaking bought thousands of, I made thousands of business cards. Finally saw him again, gave him a business card. I said, and then he remembered me. He goes, oh, yeah, you're the guy with the podcast. I said, yeah, here's a business card.
Sure.
So you going to come on the show? He's like, okay. I still haven't heard from him.
Yeah.
So I was like, come on, Jude. I said, you got to help me out. And Jude's like, okay, man, if I see him, we'll try to make it
Tell
happen.
Him, yeah, for sure.
I'd still have to get him in, know. And I even bought a football card for him. I'm not going to keep it. I want him to keep it. Because it's a Chiefs card.
Right.
But he's in his St. Louis uniform.
Right. Oh, wow. Okay.
Cool. It's one of those cards. This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I had Kelly Goodburn in here.
Yeah.
So he was a punter for the Chiefs. He won a Super Bowl for.
What was he? Did he go to KU?
For the Redskins.
Did he go to KU? Kelly Goodburn?
I don't know.
I think it was Iowa State.
Iowa State. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Iowa State because his wife went to KU and there's a whole. Yeah. So he came in. He sat right here. We talked. Cool guy. We know him. His kids went to Shawnee Mission North, and my oldest and my older nephews met up with him. And they all knew. So he come in, he had a great time. It was fun. Yeah. He shared a story with us about when they played the Raiders. He said, not too many people say that they have more rushing yards than Bo Jackson. I go, really? He goes, and I did.
Wow.
I said, did you
That's
really?
cool.
I said, did you really? He goes, I did. On a fake punt. I rushed for, 18 yards for a first down. I think Bo Jackson had like 15 in that game because he got hurt. He got hurt at the very beginning of the game. He was done for the So he's like, Bo Jackson, I got more yards than he did.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see his card. I have it right there behind the number 1.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, he shared his football. Right. He brought his Super Bowl ring with the Redskins.
Nice, man.
So it was cool. It was cool to have him in here.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. But, you guys doing all right?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Good, man. We're good.
Yeah, okay. Good. How are we doing on time? You good?
We're good.
Good.
What time?
It's 6.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No. You're good. You're good. I know you guys. I know you guys got to shoot your pod this evening. So,
we got probably just a few more minutes. Yeah, because we got to get.
I totally get it. Yeah, I totally get it. So you know what? So we can. Okay. As far as the podcast, you guys shoot every week, or how do you guys do that?
Every week. We shoot every Monday night, and then the episodes drop on Thursday.
Okay.
So that's how we run ours right now.
And who did you say your next guest was?
Tonight just be us. We're inviting a friend of ours on tonight, Chris Jones. He's a runner.
Not Stone Cold from
No,
Machine.
not Stone Cold. Guy that I grew up with, Jamie's super good friends with. He's a marathon runner there right now. So he's 56 years old, and before he hits 60, he wants to run a marathon in every state. He's up to 44 right now, and he'll do Montana this Saturday. So he's going to come on the show, talk a little bit. He's a huge Salvi fan, and really? He didn't like the way I told Salvi early in the year that he probably should get ready to retire. And now Salvi's playing so well, so
I know, right?
He said, I want to come on the show. I want to talk Salvi. I want to talk KUMU. So we invited him to come on. And then the next couple of weeks we'll do. Next week we'll do our K-State football kickoff show.
Okay.
The following week our KU kickoff show, and then we'll get ready for that KUMU. Our first live one out there that we'll have.
That's cool.
September 6th.
Yeah, you know what? I'd like to just sit and watch you guys do a pod.
I'd love for you to come on. I'd love for you to come on and do like it'd be cool to do some like collaboration piece. Like we'll get a sponsor and do like a pick'em segment. Which would be cool. I think that'd be cool. But I'd love to have you on, and
Of course,
and let me know. And one of our sponsors we have here, we have Smoke Craft Barbecue.
Okay.
He has spots there in at Kaufman and Arrowhead.
Oh, nice.
So if you guys haven't tried it, you guys need to stop by and try his barbecue.
Absolutely.
Really good stuff. Yeah.
Perfect.
He's been doing his barbecue since 2020, and he's doing some good stuff. Really good food. Their sausages. Oh, it's awesome. Good shit, man.
Perfect.
Really, really good stuff. All right. You know what? So before we end. I want to do this little game.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. Let's go.
See these paddles right here? Grab these paddles. Yeah.
Yep.
And then so what we'll do is let's do, we'll make this bit. Grab the other ones. Yeah, let's do the other ones. Yeah, because the other ones.
Okay.
And you can put those down.
Okay. Put these down.
Yeah. That one with the erasers. You can put those down.
Okay.
Okay. So obviously you said if you look at it, it says me.
Yep.
Or it's got the.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I
so
like
you
that.
might have to switch because.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to go this way. Hold on.
Okay.
So I go this way or go this way?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. All
right, so this is called Who's Most Likely To.
Okay.
Love it.
Right, and then
I love that, man. I love this.
All right, so here we go. Who between the two, who's most likely to lose something? Okay, both of you guys pointed at each other.
Yeah. For sure.
So you guys feel the same way.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Who's most likely to tell a lie? Again, you can say whatever you want. You're behind the microphone.
Yeah, we're good, man.
Yeah.
We're good.
You say what you want to say.
We're good.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what it is. Who's most likely to eat the whole thing?
No, that's not even. Yeah, my boy
Come
over
on,
there,
man.
boy.
Come on, man.
Yeah, my boy here.
You know I've been struggling with my weight the last few years. I'm trying to get. I've lost some weight.
You're looking good. You're looking good. What's your favorite restaurant? Do you have
favorite restaurant, man? I mean, he's really a big foodie. Jessica and I have our favorite spots, man.
Okay.
When we started dating, just Rudy's on Friday nights. It's always been our kind of our go-to. We love Amigos though. We give Amigos the love too, but Rudy for me, Rudy's. That's always been Jessica and I's go-to.
What about you, Jamie?
If I had to go to Peanut, I'm a big
wings.
Like, oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, so I like. It's funny because I'll have to coax my daughters into going. So I'm like, you can get 2 desserts you can get. Oh, so I can go in there. Yeah.
And, so but do you go like to watch? Is there something you want to watch?
You know, so I used to go, and it's funny because I went there yesterday after mass. So I didn't have a girl, so I went to the one in Mission, the one to Johnson Drive.
Okay, yeah.
And my cousin hit me up and he was like, "Hey, where are you?" And I was like, "I'm at the Peanut." And he's like, "On Main or on Johnson Drive?" I go, "I'm too old for the one on Main now." That was a bunch of young bucks. And it's all crunched up. So I'm like, no, I always go to the one in Mission, but they have great TVs, and I've watched several games there. Yeah. So I took in, there was some preseason football in the Royals game, so I sat up there and enjoyed myself.
Okay.
And so I'd say the Peanut's my go-to. I mean, there's places, if I'm gonna turn up or do, a special night that I like, but Peanuts, I mean, that's probably mine. Yeah, that's the move.
That is. Who's most likely to run out of gas in their vehicle? Most of you guys said each other.
Yeah.
Have you ever? For sure.
I've never run out of gas. This fool here has. So on what you and cousin John on the way to, what was that? Chiefs game?
No, it wasn't Chiefs. I forgot what it was.
Royals
no, it might have been Chiefs. I think it was a Royals game. It was a Royals game.
And you said you were on the hill. You said you should. You had to send poor cousin John, man.
Cousin John back to get some gas to get the Royals game.
Yeah. So that was a true story. It's like John, like, damn, dog, I gotta go get.
That is a true story. Yes.
Yeah. Who's most likely to forget something very important? That could be a birthday. That could be
probably me. I would say me. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be forgetting shit,
Pay for lunch or dinner.
Who would pay for lunch?
Okay.
He's Big Brother, man. Jude's Big Brother.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's like, we've been in different, stages in our life, but it's like, you're Big Brother, man. You always got to take care of that. Like, you got shit. You got to,
Between the two, who's the funny one? Who's the funnier guy?
Hands down.
I don't know, man. You can ask my wife. I'm pretty funny, man. I'm pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm pretty funny.
To
be more dramatic. Who's it?
Oh, Jude ass boy. He's 100%.
Is there something you remember that
something about Jude is Jude gets worked up. He's like my brother Bob. He just tense all the time. So this is a funny story.
Yeah.
I used to live in this apartment on the plaza. So we were going to games. At this time Jude would pick me up. So I had a window, and I'd be like, whether it was a friend going with me or we're gonna go watch us. Jude's pulling up. I'd be in the window. I'd take my shirt off purposely.
Yeah.
And he'd pull up and like honk. I'm like, "What's up, bro?" He'd be like, "What the fuck you doing, dude? Let's go, man. We need to get out of here." I'd have no shirt on. And I was like, I'll be down in a minute. And he just would, blood would be boiling. And I had all my shit and stuff. I'd walk down. And I'd right before I get to his car, I'd chug a whole beer. He'd be like, "Dude, I'm just not going to be like this today, dude. We're not going to and just get his last nerve and get him. Because I knew I could dial up his button. Because he gets stressed easy. So
the only guy that can get you worked up like that is your little brother. That's the only dude that can push your button like that.
That's hilarious. That's funny shit. Yeah. To apologize first after an argument.
Yeah, I'd say Jude. Yeah. I'd say
a little disagreement and then.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And for I'd say Jude. Or he'd be the first one to call or like, and how family is. Family's you mix it up sometimes, but it's always the best thing about our family, and it always has been that way. Is everyone, whether it takes 2 days, and it never goes months or weeks or, But Jude for sure.
That's good. That's real good. And let's see, we'll go ahead and this be the last one. Who's most likely to be afraid of spiders?
Jude.
No, are you kidding me?
Now snakes. I don't fuck with snakes, but yeah. Snakes, but spiders. I don't. Spiders, what's funny is that some shit might have been different before you, but when you have little girls, it's like, But I told them like we see a snake, Dad hiding too.
I know, right?
No, you ain't doing that.
I don't do snakes either.
Yeah.
But dude, I hate spiders. And in my last episode,
seriously,
I do, man. I even put one on my arm just to try to help me out.
Yeah.
Just to help me
This shit didn't work. This shit didn't work at all. But for some reason, my son Chris back there, is there a spider back there, son?
No, but a freaking big old web gets built every week.
Yeah. Every week back there?
Yeah. And I'm having to tear it all down. We come back here next week, it's back up again.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
There's he's hanging around there. So just in my last episode, just last week, my wife says, she says, "You need to get up real quick," or get up. And I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "Just get up." So I just got out of my chair, and it's on video. We just left it in. I go, "Why?" Get up, and then I saw it, and she goes, "There was a spider right underneath you, right here, just crawling." I know if I would have, I probably would have threw all my shit.
No, you're like, no.
But then it crawled out, and I took my shoe off, and I saw it, and I'm hitting it. Look at the bottom of my shoe, and it's not there. So I'm like, all right. And so I told my guest, I had Mike Hernandez there. I said, dude, if you see it, let me know, because he's on my
really,
check.
bro. So spiders,
yes. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, it was probably about a dime size.
Spider though, you got fears. You got fears, yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's snakes too, man. Snakes.
Right.
I don't fuck with snakes, boy.
But,
they evil.
No.
Snakes is evil.
Like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, nah, man. That snakes, I'm like that. Hell no.
Yeah, but you know what? We'll go ahead and end here. Again, I appreciate you guys coming in.
Nothing but love, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for inviting us on. I told him, because we were talking, I said, listen, I said, he's moving the day that they shoot this thing to a Monday to accommodate so you can be on. Because I told him, I said, Tuesday through Saturday you work. So thank you for doing that, changing the day.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun, man.
And thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. I had a blast, man. I had a great time. Thanks for the hospitality.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the beers, the hospitality. Listen,
welcome.
The next thing is the Come On Love You Bro podcast, and then
more than happy
we'll get you some Love You. We'll get you guys some Love You Bro gear, man.
Watch your haters pile up. I think that's a line from either Ice Cube or someone. Watch your haters pile up. Yeah.
And before you guys leave, I got some T-shirts for you guys.
I love it, man.
I
love it.
Say less.
I love it.
All right, again, thank you guys.
Mario,
appreciate you, bro. Mario, appreciate you. Love you, bro.
Let's give it up for these guys. Yep.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
A lot of love. 2-4 to 2-4.
There we go. See right there.
2-4. There you go.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching the Big Modcast. This was fun. Episode number 157. Thanks again.
Yes. Here's many more,
Appreciate
man.
it.
All right, Chris, you good?
Yep.
All right.
Chris, thank you, brother.
Peace out.
Out.
We're out.